Hello everybody, welcome to Short Shot Archery. Anthony here, and in this video I'm going to give you my review of the Vegas shoot as I practice at 70 meters. Kind of ironic, but I figured there were some good things to share about the Vegas shoot and like some critiques I had of it, things that I noticed, things that really stood out when I was shooting championship division at the Vegas shoot. So I want to share them with everybody. Hopefully this gets to the NFAA at some point, or at least gives you a good idea on some challenges, I guess you could call it, and some positives of the Vegas shoot that you can account for on future Vegas shoots. So let's get started on that. So first off, big thank you to all the people that volunteer and the staff of the NFAA for doing your best to make this shoot run smoothly. A lot of people are a lot of the staff are extremely helpful in making sure that people are checking in, people know where they're going, things like that. Of course, we're going to start with a lot of the positives and some things that really stuck out, and then I will get into my critiques, things that I didn't think that were that. Things that weren't too great towards the end of this video, but definitely the staff and the people that help run the Vegas shoot. You guys are awesome. Thank you. So I really liked the unofficial practice day that was available at the Vegas shoot. I know they've had it in the past, but it's nice that they're continuing with that. And making sure that it's a permanent stay at the Vegas shoot, especially if you're somebody that's either driving a long distance, like across country, or like me, I flew 5 hours to get to the Vegas shoot. So it's nice to be able to just take a day and just shoot some arrows, get nice and relaxed, kind of get all the knots out of sitting in a seat for far too long, and just get used to my surroundings. I personally walk around and check out what's new. Have things changed? I'm probably on like 6+ years of going to the Vegas shoot. Basically all the years it's been at South Point. I think I've been there for all of them. So it's nice to see how it's developed over time. It was also nice that following unofficial practice, the next day is official practice. So we have unofficial practice and then official practice. And then the day after that is when we actually get into official scoring. It's nice that they're continuing with that trend. The USAT events, the USA archery team events, have now decided to do practice and qualification in the same day. So that means the only day you have to just solely practice would be unofficial practice. I think that's kind of crazy. So it's nice to see the Vegas shoot, continuing on what we've always had in archery. An official practice day followed by the qualification, and not just trying to jam the two together, just to rush everybody out of there and take your money. Another nice thing this year was all the vendors that were there at the shoot. I don't know if the prices for a vendor's booth have gotten cheaper, or the fact that there's just more people selling things, there's more people manufacturing archery products. I'm not sure if it's a combination or just one or the other, but it definitely felt much fuller at this event than previous Vegas shoots in the past, and that was nice because you could spend a good amount of time walking through the vendors area and checking things out instead of just walking through the whole thing in like a half hour or so. You could spend a couple hours in there if you really wanted to check out things, or a couple days, I think, in some people's experiences. Now, another positive thing was the VIP practice. Now, I personally only signed up for Fast Pass and the 24-hour like standard practice. I was in championship division, but I was pretty sure you had to pay for VIP to get the whole VIP practice thing. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, I walked down there because I filmed it for the tour, and they had food. Well, like snack food, but still, they had food and they had water. That's pretty awesome. And if they're gonna keep doing that, some people might be interested in spending the extra money. You could get some snacks out of this. That might not be a bad gig. They also had their own dedicated bow storage, which was nice. Not that the standard 24-hour practice didn't have bow storage. It did. But it was smart that they also provided bow storage in the VIP area as well, so you didn't have to lug your equipment back and forth if you didn't want to, or you weren't staying at the South Point Hotel. All right, so now it's time for my critiques of the Vegas shoot. Some things that really stuck out to me is the schedule for the seminars. It needs to be better. Like it felt like it was hard to find. I talked with some people that were doing seminars, and I don't know, they do kind of feel like they're kind of forgotten about, kind of left out. I feel like a lot of these people sign up ahead of time, and I feel like the Vegas shoot should know 2 weeks or a couple weeks or months, even months maybe, in advance, like who's showing up and what the time slots are. Like all this has to be organized, and the rooms I'm sure have to be rented. So I feel like there should be more, coverage of that. Like there needs to be more signs. Why is it not included with the board that shows you the layout of the shoot and the shoot times and what your division is and the name and color it's associated with? Like, why isn't it on those big billboards? Then people would see it. More people would show up to seminars, which is good for archery as a whole. But it's also going to make those people doing the seminars, and some are vendors, so they're going to feel like they're getting more out of the Vegas shoot as well. It's always nice when people actually show up to your seminar. So just an idea for the future. I think it would just be more beneficial for the shoot as a whole. Now, next up, two major negatives. The first was the pins. So they supplied you with pins in your bag when you checked in at the registration booth. They gave you a welcome bag, and you got pins there, which was great. And everybody was like, "All right, pins, cool. I'll use them at home." Well, it turned out you needed them on the practice range, and you needed them on the tournament field for qualification. Yes, you need them for both. They were not supplying pins for this tournament besides the ones that you received in your check-in bag. Which I guess, yes, it makes less of a mess, but you gotta know people. People forget things, and you only got 4 pins, which is awkward because, let's see, we have a tri-spot target or a single spot target. It has 4 corners. 4 corners for 4 pins. But what else do they give you? They give you a name tag. Well, to appropriately, attach that to the target, you really need 2 more pins. But nobody had 6 pins because they didn't supply them. So then you had to go out on your own and buy them from like Lancaster or whoever was selling extra pins so that you could actually pin up your stuff. Or you could do what I did and a lot of other archers. You could get real creative and find a way to either like wedge your name tag in there, between the pins and the target, or stab the target, end your name tag, all with 1 pin, and make it work that way. There was definitely a strategy to it, but it was a pain in the butt, and it was like, come on, I'm paying hundreds of dollars just for my registration, especially since I shoot championship. Not counting all the other things that I'm doing here. You couldn't afford to give me 6 pins, and then like make sure that I know I need to bring them everywhere with me. It still would have been smart for them to be supplied regularly, just because people forget to bring things. Especially by the 2nd and 3rd day, there was a fair amount of people that didn't have name tags anymore because they left them in their hotel room at some other hotel, and they're not going to go drive back there to get a name tag. Well, same thing with the pins. You get there, and then you only have so much time before you have to shoot. You're not going to drive all the way back for some target pins. Another big negative, too, is that to get all those target pins affordably, the company manufacturing them cut some corners. The pin part, the actual nail that was in there, was not attached very well to this little, I guess it said Vegas chute. It kind of looked like it was a, oh. Look, we got a perfect example. They say Vegas chute, kind of looks like a poker chip or whatever, a token for winning the slots, or I don't know. It's fine. But the thing is they come unscrewed. And then you're left with all these metal barbs in your target. Here I am shooting $60 X10s into targets riddled with these things. It's like trying to drive through a minefield. It's not cool, man. Not cool at all. Not that didn't happen in the past, but even the cheap pins they used in the past, they had nails and little heads, and people took them out. Yeah, there was ones occasionally there, but these things they're dangerous. Next up is the temperature. I have not experienced this before. I shot championship last year, and all the years before that, I shot flights. I've never been unbelievably cold. There's been days I've been, times there I've been warm, maybe a little cold, but I thought I was shooting an outdoor tournament. I was like, why didn't I bring, some layers here, some Under Armour, or an insulated long sleeve shirt or a hat or all these different things. I'm like, did I just sign up for an outdoor tournament in February? Because that's what it felt like, especially on the early morning lines. Somebody was running the air conditioning at probably 50 degrees when there was no people in the Vegas chute. The vendors weren't open early in the morning for the beginning lines. So here you're just getting flooded with all this freezing cold AC. And there's no bodies, really, to heat it up besides the people on your line, because everybody else is still sleeping. Of course, it did pay off to have the AC on later in the day, but come on, some more intelligent management of the AC. I know it's probably not the NFAA's fault, but really, South Point, you're a casino. You already know how to put, gambling in your favor. You think you would set up the air conditioning and such the same way. But that was something that even stuck out when we got to the World Cup final rounds. Here's Brady and Crispin and Choi Mi-soo and all these top world-class archers, and they're freezing to death. Where they were standing on the line was directly where the AC was blowing on them. It was kind of unbelievable. There was a wind for an indoor tournament, but it was this chilly wind. So everybody's wearing jackets, and they look like it's the middle of winter shooting an indoor shoot. And I don't know, it just seemed really unprofessional for such a world-class tournament. Like, this is the World Cup final at the Vegas chute. Kind of missed the ball on that one, I feel like. And other than that, there were some weird lighting issues. I know it's usually dark in there to start with. It's not a venue designed for archery, so it's not like the lights are set for us in mind. But even on a unofficial practice day, they had a weird dimming effect. They would they would glow in and out in intensity. I do not know if that continued into the scoring rounds, but man, was it distracting when I'm shooting unofficial practice. It would basically go from normal Vegas brightness, and it would dim all the way down to almost dark, and then it would dim or undim, brighten all the way back up. I'm like, what's going on here? This is trippy. And I don't know. I was like, is the electric getting that bad in South Point? It's not that old of a hotel and casino. So just figured I would throw that in there. Again, overall, the shoot really was fantastic. And there's a lot of things that are out of the archer's control that I just mentioned here. But it does tell you, kind of always come prepared. If you're going to go to the Vegas shoot, definitely practice in some low light conditions, because especially the compound shooters, there's always complaints from them, and like it's kind of to be expected. But at the same point in time, it's not like the NFA is going to tell you about it, because then you might not show up. And then the same thing with like it freezing. Next year I'll probably make sure I bring my hat, maybe Under Armour, because this problem may not be corrected. Alright, so I did not realize that the camera card must have filled up on the new camera I was filming on. So here I am now from my desk. And this is pretty much a wrap-up of my review of the Vegas shoot. Let me know what your experience was down below. Of course, this was mine, and hopefully together we can work as an archery community to just keep improving these tournaments so that new people that get into the sport, don't have the same tough experiences as we do. That way more people can get involved in archery, more people can have fun, and I think that's like the whole point of this is just to grow the community, get everybody involved, because archery is a blast. So thank you so much for watching. Big thank you to all my Patreon supporters for contributing to me making more of these videos. So if you want to support that, check out the link down below. There's also going to be a link to the Vegas Shoot website so that you can learn more from the people that actually run it. I'm just giving my 2 cents on it, but you can also find information on the people that run the show. And other than that, thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy shooting!